Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get in the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000 for the color code technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. And boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
You know, people surprised when I say this. Our number one goal when we get up in the morning is not about making money. It's about serving customers.
That's Wells Fargo. Yeah, their goal is not about making money, but they just got fined $185 million because they went out, or they didn't go out, 5,000 of their employees set up 2 million fraudulent accounts. Can you imagine that? And don't tell me nobody knew. Nobody knew. Now, just saying, no officer has been fired, no top officer. 5,000 of these accounts. But before we get into that, let's talk about what's going on in the market. Something remarkable happened. After 43 days, approximately 43 days, where the market only moved up 1% or down 1%, the longest, narrowest range in history, it finally broke today. The market dropped 312 points. Now, that's not surprising because what happened? Again, they're trying to strengthen the dollar. So what do they do to strengthen the dollar? Because they don't manufacture anything anymore. We talked about this yesterday. The only way you can strengthen the dollar is if you manufacture and you sell more goods than you import. That's how you get a strong dollar. When you don't have that, you've got to do something else. And what do? They talk the market up. They'll say, oh, look at this. We're going to raise rates. Look, that means we're raising rates because we got the best economy around the world. So get rid of your euros, come over here, buy dollars, so that you can buy our stocks. And that's how a demand is created in dollars when they don't have any manufacturing. Well, they tried that today. They were very successful with that. All last year, the same narrative, the same fake narrative. And then every time they got ready to raise rates at the FOMC meeting, they came up with some excuse. Yeah. Things are transitory. Everything's transitory. Whether it was a weak economy or weak GDP or imports or everything was transitory. It's going to go away. Things are great. The economy's great. Well, if I remember, I told you they raised rates in December. And as a result, in January, we had a historic sell-off in the stock market for January. The worst January in history. The market dropped 14%. But my gang made money. Because why? Because we were short. That's right. We were short the market. Short the market because we have a chart. We have a charting system that works, that tells us when the institutions are pulling their money out, just like today. When they pull their money out, who's that? Who controls the market? are the big boys, the big institutions, the banks, the managers of your 401k, the manager of your pension fund. And by the way, we didn't have time to talk about pensions, how they are stealing money left and right. The CEOs are now stealing money from your pension to put out to fix the bottom line so their profits look better. So today they send out another Fed chairwoman this time, to convince everybody they're going to raise rates in September, and the market dropped 312 points. Remember, I told you this yesterday. It dropped 14% back in January for doing the same exact thing. You can't raise rates. They're not going to. I explained this yesterday. For every 1%, every time they raise rates, just 1 point, that's an additional $100 billion on top of the $225 billion they pay in interest every year. To absorb that $100 billion increase, your economy, your GDP, your economic growth has to go up at least by 1.25%. Our economy is not growing. So if you're going to raise rates, and you're going to raise a point, even remember they only raised a quarter point. They couldn't even absorb a $50 million increase on top of the $225 million. $50 million they had to pay more in interest because they raised rates a quarter point, and the economy at 1.5% could not absorb it. And that's why the stock market collapsed. That's why it's collapsing today again. Because when she comes out and says we're going to raise rates, and if they raise it another quarter point, the economy's gotten worse since January. Worse. So what are the institutions doing? They're selling. They're getting out. See, normally they don't do that. Normally institutions start buying. All around the world they come here and buy stock. And why do they do that? Why would they do that? They said they were data dependent. Well, the data is worse. Listen to this. Here's Art Cashin backing me up.
These guys baffle me. They're supposed to be data dependent, and the data is not at all that good, so they're changing their mind again.
So they're not data dependent. They're not going to raise rates, Art. They're not raising rates. They can't. But see, they hope that when they can get out there with a fake narrative that they're raising rates, that indicates that the economy's better, and that creates a demand for dollars. Because everybody from Europe dumps their euro, buys dollars to buy stocks. And that means their dollar's going up. And that's a good thing. See, a strong dollar is a good thing. They want a strong dollar. Because a strong dollar is very important to us, because we can import goods from China and other countries much cheaper with a strong dollar. So we can fill up Walmart shelves and Lowe's and Target. Cheaper goods. Every time the dollar goes up, they can get cheaper goods. You can buy stuff cheaper from Walmart. See, there is a big market in the U.S. for luxury cars. Audi, Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, Ferrari. They couldn't keep them in stock. And again, the dollar continues to strengthen. And when the dollar strengthens, the price of the imports will continue to fall. So it's a good thing. All we do is sell cars in this country. We don't manufacture anything anymore. So that's another reason why they want to keep moving the dollar up with a fake narrative, because we don't manufacture anything and we don't export more than we import. We're $500 billion, like I told you yesterday. $500 billion deficit. Isn't that unbelievable? Other imported goods also fall in price when you have a strong dollar, leaving more disposable income in the pockets of you and me, the consumers, so we can go out and spend. U.S. companies benefit because they import raw material. So any U.S. company, we import all our raw material. So when the dollar goes up, the cost of what I'm importing, let's say it's aluminum, and I need aluminum, my costs go down. I make more money. A strong dollar is wonderful. And foreign companies do well too, because foreign companies who bought, let's say, a U.S. company. Remember when they bought Bayer, which is now owned by a German company? They benefit each time the dollar increases because a 1% gain, a 1% against the euro, their profits increased 260 million. Can you imagine that? Just a 1% increase in the dollar against the euro. Bayer increases their profit by $260 million. But the most important, the reason why they do this and they lie, the economy is good and they're going to raise the dollar, once again, to send a message to the investors around the world, we have a booming economy, come here and invest. And they do it to create a demand for dollars because we don't manufacture anything and we don't import more than we export. Or export more.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to $160 with 2% fee? It drops to $123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get into the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000, the color code technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? You know, reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You know, most people get involved with a 401k because of the employer match. They really believe that there's free money. There's no free money. It's a scam. Here's how it works. You ever notice that you can't get the money all at once? Why not? Why don't they just give you the match all at once? Why over 6 years? Because they know only 12% of the people who work for a company stay for 6 years or more. Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hi, this is Randy Boyd, and I'm asking you to join us Saturday, September 10th, 2016 at Robart Sports Arena from 4:30 to 11 p.m. for some great music, barbecue, raffles, and auctions as we raise money for Branson and his medical bills. Our good friend Little Branson Summers is a 17-month-old boy who suffers from this devastating disorder. Branson has had cataract surgeries in both eyes before he was 1 year old and will continue having these surgeries for the foreseeable future.
This is Kim Betts from Gamble Creek Band. We're so excited to be part of Dancing for Branson, a benefit on September 10th at Robart. Let's all come together for a great night of music and a great cause.
And again, remember, that's going to be tomorrow. And here in Sarasota, and I know I have listeners all over the country. I don't expect you to come. And normally I'll take a promotion like that and I'll put on just my local station. But I thought it was so important to bring your attention to my website and philsgang.com. And you got the picture of Branson. I mean, this little 17-month-old boy who is going blind. He has a rare eye condition. He's 17 months old. My God, we can't let that happen. They need the money for an operation. We did this 2 years ago. Another boy, a young boy, same thing, and we were able to save his eyesight because we raised enough money, okay, to send him to the surgeons that he had to go to. So we got another situation, same exact disease. I'm going to have RJ on, Brandon's dad, and after this segment. So, and he'll fill us in. Also, we got another great, this is going to be a great weekend. We also have Saturday, September 10th between 5 and 9 p.m. We have a book signing. That's right. And my good friend Walter Scher, book signing. What a great man. What a great book. We did this before. We want to do it again. It's going to be held Saturday, September 10th, tomorrow, 5 to 9 p.m. at Servato's Restaurant. This is a book about a man's man, an entrepreneur that there's just not many entrepreneurs like him. I mean, he's the gentleman who gave us the fax machine. He gave us so many things. It's incredible. An entrepreneur who's got 50 major companies that he put together and he merged in. I mean, it's just the stories of what he's done. It's just unbelievable what this man's done. But the best thing is that every dollar he gets from this book goes to the Center for Discover. You wouldn't believe what he does. The money that he gives to these people, this Center for Discover, is so amazing, where people, they have disabilities and they really work hard to find a way forward as they shape their lives, and he supports them. I mean, it's amazing the money he donates. And so this book will help do that. And it's an amazing book, Walter's Way. So please come and get your book. So that's going to be at 5 to 9. And then, of course, the Branson, Dancer for Branson, that's going to be, again, from 4:30 to 11 p.m. All right? Okay. I got so much to do here. Let's talk about this. All right, here's what's going on. The market is finally breaking down. Finally, we're down 300 points. We haven't seen that in I don't know how long. Because here's what they did. Anytime that they run the stock market, remember, the stock market is financially engineered. So they engineered the stock market to go up. They used quantitative easing, and they used 0% interest, and they pushed the stock market up by buying their own shares. And when you buy your own shares, you don't need profits. So some of these stocks have gone up so far, in the stock market itself, 120%. The problem is the earnings. Remember, is earnings growth is supposed to take your stock and support it. So if your stock goes from $15, we'll say, and from $15 to $25, you better make sure that stock is supported by earnings growth. Okay, but what they've done is move the stock from 15 to 25. They moved it from 15 to 95, and they have no earnings. There's no earnings growth. So you need earnings growth from 15 to 25. They drove stocks from 15 to 95 at so rate using quantitative easing and stock buybacks. Now the problem with that, you can't support that stock price. So what did they do? So the plunger team, who's the plunger team? It's made up of the chair of the Federal Reserve, Aunt B, the chair of the SEC, the chair of the CFTC, the Commodities Future Trading Commission, and they decide where the market is going to go. They make the decision if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down, and they froze it in place for 42 days so it wouldn't move up or down any more than 1%. Yeah, that's right. They can do this. This is what they do, the plunger team. So then they turned around and said, we'll hold the market right here until we can get the earnings growth to catch up. Well, I can catch up from 15 to 25, but I'm not going to be able to catch up from 15 to 95. What are you, nuts? So they're sitting there, and finally they had a choice. They either have to do another quantitative easing to push the market any further, which again, anytime they do quantitative easing, it only benefits 5% of the population. They control 85% of the stock market. They get very, very wealthy. But the reason behind this and behind this rally, remember, is always to strengthen the dollar. Because we had said this yesterday, because we have no manufacturing, and because to strengthen the dollar, what you need is a strong dollar, you got to export more stuff than you import. So we've gone to a financial service basis economy. So we're really stuck here. So today, finally, with no earnings growth, they announced they're going to do a rate hike in September. It's never going to happen, but they announced it. But why did they announce that? Because that's how they get the dollar strong without manufacturing. They can create a fake demand for dollars, because when they tell everybody around the world we're going to raise rates, it's telling you that our economy is good. Come over here and invest in the U.S. stock market. But to invest in the U.S. stock market, they got to sell their euros to buy dollars, and that's how they get the dollar stronger. But guess what? It didn't work. It didn't work. Usually the dollar went up, and we saw this for all last year. Every time they did this, the dollar went up as you came over, sold their euros, took the dollars, bought stocks. Not this time. Instead of the market going up this time, the market tanked. The market tanked. More on that when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
My name is Bill Kaufman, and I have been a gang member for 14 years. I am very excited and impressed with the new MV1 and MV2 software chart. I love the easy readability. Bill has added pre- and post-market candlesticks and the ability to create stock lists. The charts can now be viewed on your smartphone or tablet. I would recommend the Max Vector 1000 chart to any type of investor.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. Learn, invest, and profit with Phil Grandy. And be sure to check out philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, first, I want you to listen to this. Now, we've all heard what Wells Fargo has done. Horrific. They stole or they're going to get fined $186 million because 5,000 employees set up 2 million fraudulent funds. And I mean, it's unbelievable what they did. They accounts. So, I mean, can you imagine? That's just unbelievable. Now, Anytime something stinks, you can find, if there's any funny smell, you can find Kramer. He's right in the middle of it. And listen to Kramer here, what he had to say.
Wells Fargo will pay $190 million to settle a customer fraud case. Regulators say the bank's employees illegally opened more than 2 million bank and credit card accounts, many without customers' knowledge. The complaint says Wells employees were under pressure to meet aggressive sales goals.
The reason why my Chapel Trust likes Wells Fargo, why I like the pressure, is because of the tremendous cross-sell. In other words, you open an account, and then they do all these other things. Yes. Well, it looks like they did all of them for some people who didn't necessarily want that. Now, this is one of the reasons why they've been the most profitable.
Isn't that amazing? When something stinks, he's right in the middle of it. He's endorsing it. But here's what's really funny about this. 185 million. Everybody thinks, wow, that's a big deal. Are you nuts? 185 million. That's nothing. Let me explain to you. They have, the corporation, they have 3 G6 Gulfstream jets, corporate jets. They're 62 million each. That's 186 million. There's no fine here. This is not a fine. Nobody's going to jail. No CEO's getting a jail time. Are you kidding? Why wouldn't they get jail time? They created fraudulent deposits and credit card accounts in order to generate sales, bonuses for themselves and for the CEOs to get their bonuses. And nothing happens to them. But what a slap in the face. 185 million, that's it? The cost of 3 of their corporate jets? This is just insane, isn't it? It stinks. It stinks. By the way, the market's still down 300 points. Right now, please, go to my site, get your free MV2. You sign up for my membership, which is $39.95. For a month, you'll have my MV2. You couldn't be getting it at a better time. It's free. Just to give you an example, we had Target. And when Target from red to green turned green back in June, the next time it turned red, it was August, and that gave us a 12% gain. But when it turned red, all you had to do, you could take your money, put it in your pocket, or turn around and do a reverse, short it. And if you did, you would have picked up another 9% because August 2nd, when it turned red, it's still red today. So it's a beautiful thing because what you're doing is not only are you picking up the upside of the stock when it's going up, but when it turns red again, it warns you to get out and you can make money shorting it. But if you're worried about shorting, you're scared about shorting, which you shouldn't be, and you won't be when we're done teaching you how to do it, then just get it so you know when your stocks are turning red. Or better yet, if you're in a mutual fund, just follow the S&P. Put up the S&P on this. It's worth $24.95 so you know when to get out of your own stocks. And when the S&P starts going down and it reaches a certain point, and I'll show you where on a chart, it's telling you the market's going to crash. But at least you'll know to protect your mutual fund when this market is going to collapse and take down your mutual funds with you. You won't be surprised this time. You'll know in advance. So here's the number, 877-600-GANG. All right, my special guest. We know we got something very, very important going on Saturday, okay? And our special guest is R.J. Summers. That's Branson's dad. And welcome aboard.
How's it going?
Good, R.J., very good. Saturday, tomorrow, at 4:30 to 11 at Roberts Arena, we're going to have this benefit. Why don't you explain what's going on, and why don't you explain just a little bit the disease that your son has?
So what he's been diagnosed with is aniridia, which is the absence of the iris, which is the colored part of your eye. So basically, his eye, most of what makes up his eye is pupil. He's only got a little tiny ring of color. So basically what that means is super sensitive to light, really doesn't have good clarity or strength of vision, and there's no cure for that. There's no cure for what he has, and he also has nystagmus, which is jumpiness of the eye. His eyes used to be, they would jump and wander left to right, and then it kind of moved to up and down motion, and now it's kind of Only when he gets really tired or something we notice it, but it's still something that he has.
So what will the money be used for then, RJ?
Basically, whatever money gets raised will go into a trust for him that will have like a president and a treasurer will be in charge of that. And then anytime he needs an operation or has a medical expense, we'll go to them and ask them if we can withdraw some money to use for whatever procedure or medical expense he has.
So what does the operation do? You say it can't cure it, but it slows it?
Well, the particular disease that he had puts him at risk for several things. One of those is cataracts. Another is glaucoma. And there's a couple other ones that come with it, but those are the big ones. Now, he developed cataracts. We started noticing that he had kind of like some little white spots in the center of his eye when he was probably around 6 months. And they just continuously got bigger and bigger and bigger. But the doctors kept telling us they really didn't want to do a surgery on him until he was at least 2 years old, just for reasons of letting the eye and the body do its thing, because his eyes were continuing to grow. But the cataracts got to the point where they were blocking over 60% of any light that could be entering his eye, so they decided that it was necessary for him to have cataract surgery in both eyes, and he was not quite a year old yet when he had that done.
So how much eyesight does he get back?
We don't know yet. All that we know is that the cataracts were removed. He has 2 new artificial lenses in place of his regular lenses, the ones that he was born with.
Right.
And then he had to have surgery after that because he had something called vitreous opacification, which is there's a gel behind your lens that kind of the lens floats on. And because of one of the surgeries that he had, it caused that gel to get very blurry. So they had to do another surgery where they go in with like a vacuum and they suck that out and then they inject artificial gel into it. It's clear again. So all we know now is that he has clear lenses and the pressures in his eyes are good, but we do not know how good his vision is yet.
All right. Well, RJ, we're going to help. And remember, everybody, tomorrow at 4:30 to 11 at Robarts Arena. And everybody who's listening to me around the country, just go to my site, philsgang.com. We know you can't come to Robarts, okay? But you can donate and help Branson, this is the 17-month-old boy, and his family, and whatever you can send, please. So, again, thank you, RJ. We'll see you tomorrow, and we're going to really do everything we can to help you.
Thank you. Appreciate everything.
No problem. Our pleasure. That's R.J. Summers. That's Branson's dad. And I mean, I just couldn't. I don't know how you go through something like that as a parent. I remember when my son had cancer. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, please do whatever you can. All right. And whatever you can to help, we'd really appreciate it. Hey, we'll be right back after the break here on Phil's Gang. Join my gang. Get your MV2 free right now. Please sign up. 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
My name is Bill Kaufman, and I have been a gang member for 14 years. I am very excited and impressed with the new MV1 and MV2 software chart. I love the easy readability. Bill has added pre- and post-market candlesticks and the ability to create stock lists. The charts can now be viewed on your smartphone or tablet. I would recommend the Max Vector 1000 chart to any type of investor.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by the Max Investor 1000 Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. The market's down 300 points, and my gang is happy that they have the MV2 because look what happened. Schlumberger was doing beautifully. It was going up nicely. And then, again, go back to August 24th. Today is September 9th. On August 24th, it turned red. It told us institutions were pulling their money out. And here we are today on August 9th, and the market, this stock has dropped 5% since we got that signal. What better is that when you're in a stock and you know you got protection? This is like an insurance policy. For heaven's sakes, for $24.95 a month, it's like an insurance policy, especially if you're in mutual funds. At least you can watch the S&P, and when all of a sudden it starts turning red and the money's coming out, then you know to do something. You won't get caught like you did at the last two bubbles. So call now, get it free, 877-600-GANG. Get your MV2 free. All you got to do is join the gang for 1 month, $39.95. You get it free for 4 weeks. All we ask, if you're doing well, please remember St. Jude's, okay? All right, I want to move along here. This is really important. Listen to this. This is unbelievable.
But I don't believe that the entire market's performance has been driven by this fact that there's nothing else to buy. We actually think the U.S. economy is quite strong.
The U.S. economy is quite strong. How can the U.S. economy be strong? It's not strong. It's not strong. For the first time, we've seen consecutive quarters, year over year, negative earnings. A contraction in new home sales, retail sales, household spending, disposable income, durable goods, all contracting. And one of the most important parts of durable goods is core capital goods. That's inside durable goods. That's like your leading indicator of your economic growth, like the tools and machinery and equipment and stuff that is built. Like, in other words, these companies build the tools to send to a company to make shirts. This is very, very important. Or they send tools to go to Caterpillar to make bulldozers. They make the tools for the companies. And those are called core capital goods inside the durable goods. And we haven't seen so bad this business right now due to lack of orders. It's the weakest since 2001. We haven't seen manufacturing industrial production this low since 1970. We had 15,478 manufacturing establishments 8 years ago. We went from 15,000, think of it, who employed 426,000 people. Now we're down in half in 8 years. And we're employing, instead of the 426,000 people, we're down 157,000 people. How can you tell these people tell us this? But here's what they lie about, their bottom line. These companies, these large companies, they're stealing from you. They're looting, the CEOs are looting at an average of $376 billion a year from your pension. That's right. These CEOs are so busy looting you. I mean, it's just unbelievable. CEOs of companies are so busy doing stock buybacks to prop up their earnings so that they get their bonuses. CEOs, and while they're doing that, your eye is on that. And what you haven't heard, or what you haven't seen, what we weren't told, is CEOs at the same time, while they're doing stock buybacks and you're watching your stock going up, they're looting billions of dollars from the employment retirement pension. That's right. If you are a pension in a company, the CEOs are looting you to boost their bottom line, make it look 20%. That's right, 20% better than what it is. Now, the Employment Retirement Income Security Act, ERISA, that was put into place to protect us, to make sure anybody had a pension that they couldn't steal from us, that our retirement plans were locked solid. That's right, ERISA mandate called for a prudent man, quote, prudent man rule on the managers of retiree funds, dictated they must make sensible investment and seek to minimize loss. Are you nuts? As a result of being paid off, the CEOs who make so much money were able to go to Congress, get the lobbyists to go to Congress and tell them to change it. That's right, to change it. And as a result of the S&P 500 companies, pension funds for employees, only 18 are fully funded. CEOs have eluded $376 billion a year. Only 18 of the S&P 500 companies have a fully funded pension where you are going to get your money. That's right. So you go, well, I'm going to get covered by the corporate defined benefit pension, aren't I? The government plan. No, the government, all the government does is give you a small portion. It's called the Corporate Defined Benefit Pension. It's a government-run agency, and if you go in and they only give you half, your company stole it, or they don't have they're not funded fully, and then you go in and you're supposed to get $80,000 a year, and they only give you $12,000, or they don't come in, they give you a tiny amount of money. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. Here's what they did. If you recall back in 2012, Obama and Congress faced a shortfall, remember? Between the current gas taxes that were coming in and the projected highway spending they needed. So to raise the money to improve the roads, Obama and Congress cut a secret deal with the CEOs of the S&P 500 companies. That the bill allowed CEOs to cut funding to the employee pension funds. This way, employees would get screwed with a stroke of Obama's pen and his telephone. He signed a bill in secret where you no longer were able to shelter your income as employees. So what they did is $10 billion that all these pensions, $10 billion that should have been sheltered, you shouldn't pay taxes on. Now you're going to pay taxes on it. Now you're going to pay taxes on it. The bill allowed the CEOs to cut the funding to your plan by $10 billion, made it legal. Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? This is so bad, unbelievable. So when you see these companies are doing great, just remember the bottom lines they give us every quarter, They're worse by 20%, and how they cover is steal from the pension funds. That's right. That's how they steal. Hey, by the way, you want to see, they're telling us the economy's doing great. Really? Let's take a look at some of the important headlines, okay? Obamacare on the verge of collapse as premiums set to soar again in 2017. Obamacare costs skyrocket. When does it stop? Obamacare rates rattle. Here's another. Obamacare about to implode like the subprime mortgage scheme of 2007. Pinal County, Arizona has lost all of its Obamacare insurers. They're gone. Obama's health care problems have now turned critical. Here's another one. Obama's destroyed the middle class. Another one. Obamacare is near collapsing Tennessee. Remember what he did? He made a deal with the insurers. He said, look, the first time he was running, he said, the way I'm going to get elected is to tell people I'm going to drop all their premiums and we're going to insure them. And we're going to insure all the poor people. And what we're going to do, and here's what we need to, I need you to participate with me. The premium's going to be $500. Am I right, Am I right, CEO of United Health? Yes, it's a $600 premium. I want you to only charge them $100 in the exchanges. And we're going to put all you insurance guys together in the exchange, and we'll pretend that you guys are competing with each other, and that's why the rates have dropped, the premium dropped from $600 a month down to $100. I will make sure, if I'm president, I will make sure that we reimburse you secretly through the Social Security Fund. We'll take the money from Social Security and pay you the difference between the $100 and the $600. He got elected. Re-election comes, same thing. Oh, we're going to keep cutting premiums, right? Oh, really? No, they weren't cutting premiums. They were duping you. The reason you got if you went to the exchange and you said, well, this is working good. The premiums, it was $500. Now it's $100. Gee, this is good. All the healthcare companies are all competing with each other. Isn't this wonderful? And then Zeke Emanuel, that parasite, okay, he comes on and says, oh, it's really working. He was the architect of the whole deal. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. No, it wasn't. It was a scam. The insurance companies got rich, so wealthy. And during the 8 years Obama was in office, they got so wealthy. And he got guaranteed funding every time he ran for his re-election and the first time he got elected. This thing was a fraud. Now he's leaving. Oh, gee, it's just a coincidence that Arizona, one county, all four insurers at the exchange left. They're all leaving because nobody's there to subsidize the difference between the $100 they pay and the $600 it really costs. And he's out golfing. He's on his way in somebody else's problem. What, are you nuts? We got a good economy? This is crazy. This is just nuts. Here's the one I love.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau fining Wells Fargo Bank $100 million for the widespread illegal practice of secretly opening unauthorized deposit and credit card accounts.
We are back with Warren Buffett. This is a good time to ask you about Wells Fargo, which you own a major stake.
Yeah.
How big is what's the percent of the shares outstanding you have?
Well, we have a little over 400 million shares, so we're well over 7% of the company.
So which bank do you like the best?
Which bank? You mean the one we own?
Yeah, the ones you own.
If I had to just own one bank, I would probably own Wells.
Of course. He was involved with it. Unbelievable. Hey,
listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com.